Welcome back to the Blue Wave Talk Show, the Diva Takeover. I'm your host, Shelley Marie, and we are going to talk to Miss Isha.
Hello.
She's going to tell you all about her stuff. And then we're going to go with Miss LaNee.
Hey.
So, Miss LaNee, I need the business on the business as far as the Moguls in Training.
Moguls in Training, MIT, which is what you should start seeing and hearing, or pound Moguls in Training. It is basically an opportunity for us as moguls, or people that are on their journey to becoming a mogul with multiple brands, or you're just starting out, to give back and train. So we can train on the things that we've learned. We can train on the things that we wish someone had told us about, experience that we may have gone through.
Mm-hmm. Is it more like it sounds like a mentorship?
It's kind of like a mentorship. When you think about social media, you're sharing information. So we as moguls are sharing our information. If you're out there, you are interested in starting a catering business, but you don't know how, Shelley can give you tips on that. She has mogul tips that she can give you. If you're looking to start an incubator, looking to get information on startups, Isha can give you that information. I have Kosire.com, Kosire.tv. I spent $5,000 I didn't need to spend on something that somebody could have told me what to do. A developer is different than a designer. I didn't know that. But that's the kind of, when you're a startup, you don't got money to just be blowing and spending on that. Right. So there's things that we as moguls, or people that are on our journey to become moguls, can share with other people who may not have someone in their corner to give them that information.
Right. Well, that sounds awesome. So who would be a good fit for that?
Someone who's interested in starting a business, or someone who's at the very beginning of their journey in starting a business. Mind you, I'm not, 5 years into this, but I'm a good way into what I'm trying to do, that I can tell someone else, don't do this, don't go that way. So if you're beginning, if you're starting, if you're even just interested and you don't know what to do, then it's for you. We hope to have, we will have other moguls in other industries that can come in. So law, whether it could be education. You may just want to go back to school, but there's somebody who may have done it in a route that is applicable to you. So it's for anyone that wants to be trained and wants to grow.
Right.
That's so important. As I think about entrepreneurship, so many people think of it as just being sexy. Oh, and I don't have a boss, and I'm going to make all this money, and I can work in my pajamas. And nobody talks about the unsexy side of entrepreneurship.
Right.
And the times when your clients don't pay, and
or you and your kids are sick, but you're the CEO, so you have to.
Exactly.
And the MOM.
Exactly. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the stress. Nobody talks about.
Disciplining your schedule, time management,
yes.
How to have a career, take care of your family. Don't be single trying to date too, girl.
Oh my goodness.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
You can just forget about the
I'm depressed now.
Not gonna happen, boo. Try to explain that one. I'm sorry,
it's
I can't
lot.
go out.
It's a
I'm
lot.
sorry, you can't go out.
And kids.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I take that back though, because if you find a man that has a vision of his own and stuff that he's doing on his own, then he may not feel like you have to be sitting up under him 24/7.
Amen.
That's important.
Where you at?
That's it. If she find you just have a brother,
Right?
Okay, the same like qualities.
That's important. A man who's on his own grind, he can support you and help you, but he's not worried about, baby, we cook my dinner, baby. It is important. Yeah. It really is. I've noticed, like, some of my girlfriends in different relationships, I won't say which ones, but the ones that are pushers or entrepreneurs, their male or their counterpart or spouse is usually a pusher as well. Wow. The ones who aren't, their business usually is stagnant because they're trying to
please everyone, which is hard. Just women in general, I think we wear so many hats, but then when you're trying to be a business owner and have a successful business and grow and figure out the difference between a developer and a designer, there's a lot of stuff that we have to go through and learn. Like, who has the time? Then you're frustrated and sad and you're lonely, and then next you know, you're watching a little bit of your Pope and you're eating key lime pie early in the morning.
Have a pie.
That's for real.
Oh.
No, but I think it's an awesome program. So, do you have clients now, right now, that you're?
We don't have clients right now, so we're it along with Kosire.com, Kosire.tv is a startup. So it's telling the journey. It's telling, this is how I started. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. It's branding, Kosira.com, Kosira.tv, Domestic Diva Catering, Intrepid. I mean, we're taking those brands and we're talking about how we're building them. So it hasn't launched as far as, per se, a business, but we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're talking about the things that we're dealing with and going through. We're Facebooking those things so that people can get information from us. So
are you looking for people to kind of offer some of their time and services or their story, per se?
Yes. Eventually, Moguls in Training will actually start traveling, and we'll start looking for other moguls out there across the nation. So eventually you'll see a bus coming through your town, and if you're looking to be a mogul or trained, a mentee, we will be doing a national campaign. That's something we're definitely growing to. We can only do so much this way. We want to get out and start touching people who really want the information.
Right.
So it has a lot of room for growth. Mogul Academy will be here one day. We'll do a Mogul conference. So it has a lot of potential.
So you guys, with all of that being said, it's a wealth of information. If you guys have any suggestions or something you want to see, or just questions in general, do you think you're right fit? Is this going to cover your segment, your business, your industry, whatever? Send those questions in. Like, you can send them into the bluewaytalkshow@gmail.com and or subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to see Miss LaNee's links and all that information to get that data. But don't miss this opportunity, because I know one thing as a business owner, I thought I knew everything, because 9 times out of 10 I do. But there was a lot of things that I just didn't know, and I didn't know. I didn't know
what you don't know
until somebody was like, "Do you have a web developer?" I was like, "No, I have a designer." Isn't that the same person? Well, I just wrote him a check. Well, yeah, you need to write another check. It's like certain things that I just had no idea. Different licenses that I didn't need, and those licenses are expensive. Taxes, accountants, all of that information. Like, there's no reason for all of us to go through the same woes. There's no reason for all of us to get those same those pitfalls or speed bumps. If you could take the freeway versus the street, I highly suggest taking the freeway. Plain and simple.
Yeah, because ain't nobody got time to be taking the streets.
Ain't nobody got time for that, especially if it's downtown and all those one-way streets and you have to make the U-turn and parallel parking. All that is no bueno. We're not doing that. So this is definitely a program, again, that's out for you. And of course, again, I can't stress enough how important this is for us to get your feedback. We really want to hear what you're looking for, because we think we know, and we're going to tell you all our business. We're just one of those, like I was talking about Cece, how she put her guard down and just kind of let her life be out there. We're sharing this with you, so we kind of expect you guys to give us feedback, or let us know what you're looking for, because we're just going to keep coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. We want this whole community to grow, not only just our businesses, but your business as well. We ain't scared. It's enough money out here for everybody.
That's right.
So get some.
That's right.
One thing, in coming to Isha, because as a mogul, I go to other moguls, and I talked to Isha. And she made me have to go back and look at just my operations. How am I operating my business? And I had to break away and figure out, what is my business, what is my product, and what is my service? Because I was confused in that. So I know that Kosira is my business, but what do I offer? And so I figured out, my product is my website. That's the product. That's what I produce. And the service that I offer is the promotions of other African American businesses. But then I had to figure out, how do these things separate and how do they intertwine? Because I was spending too much time giving attention to the product that I had and not enough time to the service.
Right.
And so now I can step back and, okay, these are the things. I don't want an Obamacare situation.
Yeah.
I want all 15, 20, 30, 50,000 if you go to the site. It will work for you. It will work properly. You don't have to worry about that, because I sit with moguls and they help me to get the things that I need, and then we can turn around and give it to other people.
And that's so important, because I think particularly when people are launching something new, you keep it so close to the vest, because it's your baby, and you don't want nobody to steal your idea and all this other stuff. But if you're not talking to people, how are you going to find out what's broken? Who's going to ask you those questions that you didn't think to ask yourself? So you've got to start opening up. I'm not saying go tell the world and all those negative Nellies and all that, but you've got to find people that you can trust that have some knowledge to be able to look at it from a different perspective.
And that kind of opens up the opportunity for obviously networking, but actually having a sounding board that's in the business that you can talk to about different things. that was something I wish I had. And I have a cousin that's in the food industry, so she's been a wealth of information, just kind of dropping knowledge on me. Some stuff I didn't want to hear, I wasn't ready to hear, and sometimes I just received it with open arms. But you just have to be in a place to be very open and to receive the word, whatever that may be.
Yeah, that is true.
And sometimes, well, I won't speak for you guys, but as a first-time entrepreneur or entrepreneur in my family, there's not always people close to you to go to.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anyone close to you to go to, where do you go get that information? Where do you go get that training or that learning? Reading is great, but sometimes you want to hear somebody else's experience.
Right.
So that's another way I like to use the tool. If you don't have people around you that are positive or working towards entrepreneur, then come network with us.
Absolutely. And not necessarily, I'm all about the big honesty, but my truth may not be someone else's truth. I just want to hear. So at least I know. I got a comment before about a picture that was posted. And yeah, no one wants to hear that their hair was jacked up or, you shouldn't wear that shirt or whatever. But at the same time, I have to digest that, because if that's what the viewers see, then, maybe that wasn't my intent to put too much salt in the
macaroni and cheese.
In the macaroni and cheese. I'm just saying it happens. But, we all have little fumbles, but we have to be able to recoup. But if somebody is not there to help us and kind of push us along, it's kind of hard to do that. We could do it to the best of our ability, but I think it speeds up the process when you have, just a sounding board, someone that's in like business or going through like experiences. It's just that common thread, if you will.
What's one thing that you wish someone would have told you along your journey?
As far as catering, I think there's just a lot of licenses. I think this is universal for any business, but here locally in Arizona, there's a lot of cities and a lot of licenses, and everybody wants a piece of it. And next thing you know, you got 2% over here, 4% over here, 8% over here, and I'm paying everybody. And at the end of the day, I'm like, well, how come I'm still hungry? Yeah. why I can't put my kids in sports? It was, but there was so many that I didn't know. And I was, okay, I need my food handler license. I need my management license. Oh, I need this. I need that. You think that you need all of these in certain segments, you do. I just wish I would have paid more attention to what cities and licenses I really, truly needed.
At that moment.
Yes. Versus thinking I need to be right and across the board. I'm always right. But just right and across the board, so you get all these licenses, you pay $1,000, $3,000, and you're not even working in that city. There's just like little things that you just never know until someone says, you really don't need that license. It's totally unwarranted. How about you?
Yeah. I would say reaching out and getting help. Because, most of us like to wear this big superwoman cape and we think we can do it all by ourselves. And I think we're all single moms too. Right. So that doesn't help it, because we've been conditioned to doing things by ourselves. Right. And so trying to do that in business for 4.5 years. And I just hit the ceiling. And had I realized that sooner that, okay, you know what? I need a partner. Right. Then I could have grown so much faster and accomplished so much more.
So let me ask you this, because you just bring up a good point about being a single parent and trying to run a business, a successful business. Do you think that it's kind of preconditioned you to want to do everything by yourself?
I've just been super independent all my life. My mother literally said one of the first phrases out of my mouth was, I can do it myself. I want to do everything myself. And I was that way when I was in corporate America. I had an admin. I wouldn't even use her. And she's like, hello, I can help you. Know, and it was until I would hit the wall. That was when I finally asked for help. Well, why do you have to wait till stuff starts blowing up in your face to ask for help? And so, but just being conditioned. So being a single mom, and my son's dad is fantastic, but we lived in different states for the majority of my son's life. So just in every area of life feeling like, oh, I got to figure it out. I got to do it. That it just spilled over.
Wow. That's good. I think we're going to have to come back and we're going to add that to one of our next Diva segments, is talking about this whole single parent and working and school or whatever it is, because I think there's so many of us out there that do it, that there's got to be some kind of method to the madness, and know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Kenny Rogers.
Before the plastic surgery.
Before the plastic surgery. That was back when he had the full beard and he was kind of chunky. He had the chicken fried place. Anyway,
I love that place. Kenny Rogers roaster. Shout out.
Boom! It was. I don't even eat chicken. That was when I ate chicken. Kenny Rogers was fine back in the day.
They used to put the corn in the cornbread.
Yeah. Why used to put the corn in the mashed potatoes? I know. was weird. It was weird. But it was great. It was sweet. It was savory. It was sick. I don't know. I just loved it. Anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the Blue Wave Talk Show, Diva Takeover. I'm Shelley Marie, your host for today, and I'm here with this beautiful Isha, and we have LaNee on the end, and we'll be back in just a little bit.